a lot for participating in this project, and so we are here with Ruby today.
And we really appreciate your presence, and we would like to also to say thank you to all the artists that are present in our podcast, because we ask them to pop up in our project on Sundays, Saturdays, and very crazy timing. And so thank you very much. Thank you, Ruby, as well.
Thank you.
About that. So we would like to ask you if you could present yourself and say when and where you started tattooing and your tattooing history as a tattooer. Yeah.
Okay, I'm Ruby. I tattoo in Fremantle in Perth, Western Australia. I started tattooing in 2019 in February, so roughly around like 4.5 years ago. And I would say my style is bold and colourful, a mix of like traditional and Japanese tattooing, but I really love using really bright solid colours, and I guess that's it.
Can you please talk more deeply about your style in Japanese tattoos in general? So if it is something that you choose for some reason.
Okay, yeah. I think generally I've been taking a lot of inspiration from like folk designs, like folk paintings, like old Japanese toys, that kind of thing. I feel like since going to Japan and, immersing myself in the culture, found that that was sort of what I was really drawn to, like just little cute things, like things with real funny expressions. That's what I like to draw and I like to paint. I guess that sort of transfers into my tattooing as well. With the Japanese style, I'd say like I'm still a bit early on, not quite like in the bodysuit stages of my career, but hopefully one day I'll get to that. But yeah, at the moment I just really like to draw and paint like lots of creatures, yokai, whimsical things. I feel like that's what I'm really drawn to. Lots of bold and bright colours.
Okay, nice. And it was something that, you kind of wanted to start with that, or is something that became important in the latest part of your, experience, or is something, for example, did you start, with traditional or with any kind of other stuff, and then you discovered that, or you just started directly with Japanese and just started?
I think I started more with traditional. I definitely thought that I would make traditional tattoos in the beginning. When you first start, obviously like everyone's like, trace traditional flash. So you kind of have those people around you sort of pushing you in that direction. But I had an interest in lots of other forms of tattooing as well. I was really, I guess before I started, I was into, Tibetan art and Japanese art. And I've always sort of loved, looking at woodblock prints and reverse glass Indian paintings and things like that. So I feel like in the beginning I sort of was a bit of a mix of everything, like just trying lots of different styles and sort of seeing like where it took me. But I guess once I went to Japan, I thought like this place is amazing, and that's sort of when I sort of lent heavily into the Japanese designs on that first initial trip. It was before I started my apprenticeship, so I guess after going there and visiting and sort of taking inspiration from that, sort of started leaning more towards that in my drawings and my paintings.
Yeah.
Have you been several times to Japan?
I've been a couple of times, so just 2 at the moment, and I booked another trip, so another one in Feb, so that's exciting.
Oh yeah.
I started a big tattoo on my front over there, so going back to probably a few more times to get that finished. Yeah, but I do really love it over there. I feel like it's just such a magical place, and
yes, totally.
I think like the first time I went there, my face was just like so sore because I was just smiling for like 3.5 weeks straight.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
oh,
also,
this thing's amazing.
yeah, when you start seeing the place where your style was born. So also for me, it does change my mind. Yeah, it's something really mind blowing.
Yes.
It is, and I think there's just so much culture, and it's so rich in tradition and folklore over there that I really feel like it drew me into that sort of, you know, those stories and that like way of thinking. I don't know. Yeah, it's such a cool place.
Yeah.
Can you also please talk about both your style and tattoos in general in your city or in Australia, the tattoo scene? How does it work in your place now?
I feel like Perth is a pretty small city, so there's not like heaps and heaps of shops, but there's still quite a few, you know, especially like in the area where I work in Fremantle. There's a close-knit community of like little tattoo shops around there, so I feel like, yeah, it's really thriving in Perth. Like people love getting tattooed. Feel like there's more and more people getting big work. You know, and the tattooers that we have here, like, I think are really incredible. There's some really good artists, and yeah, I feel like the clientele that we kind of have as well, they really love collecting from multiple artists, which is really cool because you kind of get to see all your friends' work and put a little piece next to theirs and sort of work with the person to try and make, you know, what you're putting on them like match what they've got going on around, and that makes it easier when everyone around you is doing really cool tattoos.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. And do you? I would like to ask you if I mean we already mentioned a little bit drawing and paintings. How is it drawing and painting in your daily life? I mean, it's in your week, for example. Do you paint a lot? Do you like painting a lot or drawing? What is your kind of what do you feel? It's more your approach to this part of the work.
I feel like drawing for me is better in the mornings. I feel like that's sort of usually how I start my day off. I like to wake up early,
Right.
and sort of I feel like everything flows out a lot easily when I first wake up. Obviously, you know, you work all day and then sometimes you come home and you're a bit tired, and I feel like drawing sometimes feels hard for me at those moments, and they're kind of the times that I like to paint because I find painting really relaxing. And I try to paint as much as I can. I feel like I'm always working on something. But yeah, painting is definitely like my happy meditative kind of, you know, zone for me. Like I really love to wind down while I'm painting. I feel like it's really relaxing. And yeah, so I guess like, you know, in terms of like a work week, I do a lot of my drawing on weekends, as we all probably do. And yeah, I feel like I paint a lot at night, so that was kind of how it goes. Usually take a day off, well, a dedicated day to drawing for the week or for the coming weeks. So especially as you start to work on some larger stuff, obviously the drawing time is a lot more than just drawing like a little one-shot design. So just try to sort of factor it into every day. But yeah, mornings is definitely when I'm the best at drawing, I reckon.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah, that's
sounds
great.
Amazing.
Can we talk also about your relationship with the tattoo machines?
Yeah.
Yes. What do you like most? And yeah.
I definitely love coil machines. So, well, your tail's from the coils, so I feel like gotta love the coils. But I started off, I learned on coil machines. So my first two machines were Mike Wilson machines from Lucky Supply, the US Lucky Supply. And I feel like when I got them, you know, I was just like, oh, these are amazing, but maybe like didn't really know how to use them that well at the start. So kind of as like time's gone on, I feel like I'll just pick up like one of my older coil machines and find a new use for it. And I guess I kind of always go back to coils In the past, I've used sort of rotaries and, you know, like a rotary works or a D20, and I feel like they definitely have a purpose, and you know, they're good for some stuff, but I just love, you know, how coil machine kind of sounds and looks and feels, and I like making all my coils, like getting them custom ordered so they all match. Have a little
I used to say that it's more rock and roll.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I guess, like, you know, every time after I've done a tattoo, I'm always like shining my machines to make sure that they look extra pretty for a long time. But yeah, really love coil machines. I've started using direct drives a little bit. I've been doing, I guess, starting to take on some larger scale Japanese work. So I've been using direct drives for my background, and just sort of getting a feel for them through that. And I feel like at the start it was pretty difficult, but now I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of them a little bit more. But yeah, it's just a different way, I guess, a different tool and a different application. But yeah, I feel like I always go back to the trusty coil. Yeah,
we fully understand.
Yeah. But you know, I'm yet to try the pen, but maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Yeah, because you know, it's like never say never, because you start buying a lot of machines, and sometimes you can also buy a pen and try it. So I know a lot of other tattooers that say, okay, I tried and I don't like to come back to the coils, or the opposite. So I just tried, but I don't like it at all. It depends. For everyone is different, but
for us it's coils. But
for us it's coils. But
I also feel like.
Please.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was just gonna say, like in Perth, because it's like very hot here, quite like sunny. I feel like some people have really tough skin as well over here, and sometimes like a coil is just, you know, the give on the machine makes it easier to sort of saturate colors in like difficult areas. But yeah, I'll never say never. I like to try new things. So
but I think it's also part of a evolution process, not necessarily going onward. It's just that it's nice to try and to see what it really fits for you, and even, for example, for some kind of work, it doesn't have to be all the time, all the days, or whatever. It's just a tool, and it's nice to be sure that you try it, right? So it's something that is worth it, at least to know that there's something different, and could be. But anyway.
For sure. And I think also, like, you know, a lot of people say like the pen is very easy to travel with. Especially if you're going to like other countries, you know, you can just order your stuff, whereas with coils, like, feels a bit more precious taking them on the plane or shipping them over somewhere and hoping that they get there.
Also a lot of people said that they prefer to don't use cables anymore. So, it depends for your needs. So
yes, I mean, we were I remember one of the last convention that we did, there was a lady, a tattooer, she was like, I'm so jealous of people just coming with a small bag. And I have all my apartment into my luggage.
I used to be in the convention the only person allowed with coils all the time. So people just looking at me in a weird way. And
that's funny.
And also, you would want to ask.
It's fine. It's I mean, we are talking about changing the tools, and changing the tools is also related to communication. So it's how is your approach and relationship with social media, and I mean, customer-oriented strategies and stuff like that? Do you find essential the social media, or a big part, or you prefer a more people to people, just living like in person, direct contact or stuff like that? How is your approach to this?
I I feel like with social media, definitely a lot of people use it to find artists that they want to get tattooed by, and I think it's like, you know, Instagram, for example, is like the main sort of way that a lot of people want to contact you.
Yeah.
So sometimes like I try to set boundaries within like my social media usage, but I feel like you always have that kind of, you know, guilt, or you feel like you need to reply to people straight away. And I feel like from an administrative side of things, it can be kind of, you know, I guess like a lot of pressure. So just sort of trying to, you know, feel like I try to pare it back and be like, focus more on like the email side of things. But then I feel like when that happens, then I only get DMs or the other way around. So it's kind of like a bit up and down. And I guess, you know, a lot of people sort of hold value in their portrayal of what they look like on social media. And I think like you can sort of get really caught up in it. So I definitely go through phases, but I try to sort of keep limits on what I use it for, and you know, how I sort of when to respond to people, and you know, just sort of take a step back and have a think about sort of, you know, what like my own personal limits are with like having so much access to I guess, sorry, let me start that again, you know, like people sort of having access to me all the time. So yeah, I feel like it definitely goes up and down, but you know, on the other hand, I really love it because I get to see all of this art from people all over the world and connect with strangers that I might never have met before, or had the chance to connect with. So I feel like as a tool, it's definitely really good. But yeah, just try not to hold on to it too much, because you know, some things on the internet are not real life.
Yes, I think it's also like, I mean, trying to avoid that when you are under the shower, you have to go out and reply to a message, something like that, right?
It's tough, yeah. And I feel like as well, sometimes, you know, if you don't reply within like a set amount of time, they're like, oh, don't worry, I got someone else to do it. So, you know, it's kind of like, oh, I feel like at the start, you can get a bit more upset about those things, but now I feel like just sort of let it happen. I'll just reply in my own time, and it doesn't really feel like there needs to be a rush for me to be, you know, at somebody's beck and call all the time. So yeah, just try to, you know, have the healthiest relationship with it that I can.
Totally. Can I also ask, what does tattoo mean to you now? So it's different from when you started? Have a different meaning?
In general, what is in your life tattooing? What is the meaning of tattooing in general in your life? It's
I'd say it holds a pretty big place in my life. You know, most of my week is revolved around tattooing, tattoo related activities. So I feel like when I first started, you know, I was already getting tattooed for maybe 10 years before I started tattooing. So I've always loved like the process of getting tattooed and sort of being in that environment. But as time's gone on, I felt like it's become a really like strong feeling of sort of purpose for me. Like I feel like it gives me a reason to be creative and to push my creativity and to, you know, always try and be better at my drawing, my painting, and my tattooing. So yeah, I'd say like it's a pretty big part of my life. And my partner's a tattooer as well, so we work together. We draw at home together. We spend a lot of time talking about tattooing.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's pretty meaningful to me now. I feel like the meaning is growing stronger as time goes on.
Yeah. We can.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yes.
And
It's definitely encompassing, you know, you just want to throw yourself into it all the time.
yeah, yes. And do you, I mean, what is your plan? I mean, do you have any plan for the future? It can be anything, I mean, related to a conventional guest, or it can be related to anything concerning your work, or yes, do you have any plans for the close future, or in general some aim that you want to reach?
Yeah, I'd say I have a few plans. So I'm doing my first ever convention in a week,
Nice.
which is pretty exciting.
Wow.
So that's in Sydney. It's called the Iron Gate Tattoo Convention, and it's a pretty big deal for Australia, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's kind of a new wave of conventions that are very artist driven. So super excited to be asked to be a part of that. So I've been working on a lot of stuff for that at the moment. And then guest spots, I've been trying to get over to the East Coast as much as possible. I think I've done like 5 or 6 trips this year. So it just, yeah, I love traveling for work. Find it really inspiring. I feel like it gives a new life into my art and my tattooing. And then I guess, yeah, aside from going to Japan, the next stop is Europe, hopefully. So that's I guess something that both me and my partner really want to do. Is we've both never been there, and we have a lot of artists over there that we look up to and a lot of shops we want to work at. So that'd be the next like travel move, I'd say. And then stylistically, I feel like I'm trying, you know, after this convention and stuff, just trying to really focus on doing some bigger designs, bigger concepts, starting to move into like, you know, some bigger work now that I sort of feel confident in where I'm at. I feel like I'm ready to try and tackle some bigger projects. So hopefully that comes in the new year. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Nice.
That's really, really cool.
That's a very good plan. So yeah, I mean, I really would like to thank you for your time, and it was a very nice chat. Thanks a lot for being with us. And I would like to invite you to just staying with us on the Zoom connection, so we can say bye properly. And so I thank you everyone that was watching us, and yeah, see you very soon, because we have a very nice panel of guests in the next period. So thank you very much, and have a lovely day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.